Excuse me. Welcome in. How we got a like before we got a person? Wow. Welcome to this video. Welcome. That's powerful. Oh, now we have an unlike. That's powerful. Let's get it. Power to the likes. Power to the unlikes. I'm with it. Now we got a like. Let's get it. Welcome in. Put your zodiac sign in the comments. Interpreting the zodiac. Let's get it. Um, Sun in Aquarius, Moon in Scorpio. What'll it be? What'll it be? Let's get it going. Thank you for the subscription. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the thank you for being thankful. Thank you for showing love. Is that what you're gonna call me now? You're gonna call me Mr. Lumberjack now? Let's get it. I'll accept it. I accept it for value. Let's go. The Lumberjack. The name you know, the name you trust for zodiacal information. The Lumberjack. The brown Lumberjack is perfect. The brown stoked. Let's go. The brown Lumberjack is perfect. The name you know, the name you trust for interpreting the cosmos. The brown Lumberjack. We need an emoji now. I got from the last life that the South Node living waters, South Node, Node, node. If you just got here, welcome. We're doing interpretations. I'm interpreting astrological charts. If you'd like a reading, donation based, or you can hang out and listen. We can ask questions. You can do whatever you want. You could do whatever you like. Yeah, I'm sharing. You have questions, I may have answers. Sun in Aquarius, Moon in Scorpio. Miss New York, really? How are you? I was looking for you. I'm over on YouTube, Miss New York. You're more than welcome. Come on over. Interpret some astrology. South, no, we shouldn't be concentrating on the past, but yet focusing on wisdom and learning new things. I'm speaking again. Last life, South Node. That's fine. Speak. I appreciate your speaking. I accept it. I welcome it. Living waters. I'm I'm a little different in my processing and integrating in regards to what people should and shouldn't do. Right. But that's me. That's me. And I hear what you're saying about not living and dwelling on the past. However, it is part of who it is that I am. I don't want to dwell there. I definitely concur. But this experiences that I've had in the past are like landmarks for things that I grow from and move away from. Let's say, for example, I walk down the street and, you know, I don't see this hole in front of me and I fall into the hole, right? And I snap my ankle. Once I heal from that snapped ankle, I don't want to dwell on the fact that, oh, I snapped my ankle, but I do remember it. And when I do see a sign, I'm going to be mindful that, hey, let's remember that. Let's be careful, use caution, use our OSHA safety first. But let's look at that scientifically, if we will. Is it beneficial to dwell in the past? Scientifically, dwelling on the past is rarely beneficial and often harmful, as it typically leads to rumination. So I'm speaking of the rumination part. Not too healthy, brings increased stress, anxiety, and depression. So I agree with you to ruminate. While brief nostalgic reflection can boost mood and self esteem, chronic rumination often reinforces negative emotions, prevents emotional growth. So I'm with you on that. And perhaps the south node in your chart is what you should not ruminate on. Interesting. Dwell on. Let it go. Let that action go. Free as a bird. Even dwelling on past relationships or events can trigger higher levels of chronic stress. So the South Node is the zodiac sign that the South Node is a reminder of what not to dwell on. Let's see, is it beneficial to dwell in the future or the present? Because it goes the same for the past as well. I don't know what you mean. I know what you're talking about in regard to the last live. We were talking about the North Node and the South Node, if you will. Let's pull up Exhibit A. The North Node is in Pisces and the South Node is in Virgo. You're mixing in the Sun and Aquarius with the nodes. Excuse me, the North Node is not in Aquarius yet. It's approaching Aquarius. The nodes, if you will, go backwards. They retro through the signs. But let's look at this here. Living in the present is generally more beneficial for mental health, reducing stress and increasing life satisfaction by eliminating worry. I don't know if it completely eliminates worry. There's still action that needs to be done. Not needs to be done, but there's action and behaviors, if you will, that can promote or not promote positive emotions and feelings and energy as opposed to negative. But I think that you're mixing the Aquarius energy of the stellium with the nodes, the north node and the south node. I did say that in the last live that the south node in Virgo points to the last life collectively and healing and health. But ruminating in health or being overcritical of oneself in regards to the health may not be healthy. Are you with me with that? And we can incorporate that into Scorpio risings chart with the South Node in Virgo. Because for Scorpio rising, the South Node in Virgo is the 11th house, which is the house of networking. It's the house of group activity, community, goal setting, and such. One moment here. Let's go into the lunar nodes. Okay. Is that okay with you? Maybe perhaps this will be helpful. In astrology, the lunar nodes are not planets, but rather calculated points. I talked about that in the last live, representing the intersection rather, of the moon's orbit with the sun's path, the ecliptic. They represent the karmic axis, the north node and the south node. That shows the soul's journey. The south node here is where you have been, where you've been. Have you been criticizing yourself? Have you been overly criticizing yourself? While the north node is where you are going. Have you been looking at where you've been going in regards to your belief and connection to your belief system? I did miss you. I'm so glad you're back. Welcome. Hello. Spirits are all good. Thank you so much for asking. Be sure to like the live, subscribe, like the live if you're into um, the content, the channel, and exploring more about yourself with the way that the cosmic alchemist interprets astrology. We're talking about Aquarius, or theme surrounding Aquarius, which is knowledge, which encompasses astrology. And we're doing a deeper dive into the nodes, the North Node in Pisces and the South Node in Virgo. So we just got to the point where we're talking about how what the North and the South Node represent. The North Node represents, or the South Node represents where you've been. South Node in Virgo, you know, have you been criticizing? How does that work? Right? Have you been focused on health, dwelling on it to a point where you're ruminating? South Node, North Node in Pisces, quite simply where you're going. Destiny, growth, lessons. Growth. It's about growth. What's interesting about that is that Mercury is approaching the North Node in alignment with the North Node. Saturn's been here. So we got two layers of lessons as it comes to belief systems and our spiritual energies. Interesting, right? So South Node, comfort zone. South Node is the comfort zone. Have you been comfortable in regards to your health? Are your muscles atrophying? You know, you're allowing this winter season to get the best of you, and you slack on your workout, your exercises, or at least stretching. This is the question. South Node, comfort zone, health, digestion. Have you been eating foods that aren't as healthy for you? Some questions to ask. All right, we're going to go into it here. So here's an interpretation of the nodes, how they relate to the future, past anxiety, and how to incorporate this energy. That's what we got here. So my South Node has been said, high priest in the past life. Okay. Um, my South Node is in Gemini. Well, hang on. It's not, you can't have two South Nodes. There's a South Node and there's a North Node, North and South. You got a South Node in Sag, and you have a South Node in Gemini. I think there's a typo there. Double check your comment there. That's a great question. Double check your comment. I think you might have made a mistake. I don't know what it is, but you got SN and SN. You got South Node twice there. So interpreting the nodes, the South Node, the dragon's tail, right? It's known as, it's in Vedic astrology, it's said to be Ketu. Rahu is the North Node in Vedic, and Ketu. The South Node, dragon's tail, associated with past lives. 30 minutes ago is past life. Not for nothing. Inherent skills, South Node, and comfort zones. I figured it was a typo. So we're going to get to that. South Node and Sagittarius has to do with your comfort zone. So you're comfortable with teaching, with traveling, with using philosophies that you are already aware of. South Node, comfort zone. You're good at escaping through leaving an environment. Sagittarius, Pisces is an escape artist. Sagittarius is an escape artist. Gemini is an escape artist. Virgo is an escape artist. These are the four escape artists, the mutable signs. I got you. I got you. I got you. And so the North Node is what this life, or what you're headed towards, what you're going towards, the dragon's head. We're going towards the head when it comes to the nodes. And so you had that accurately. Short answer, yes. Going towards the student, the learning, the comprehending, basic, using logic, reason, rationalizing the philosophies, not just accepting philosophies for what they are, but being the student, forever the student. North Node, Gemini. Whatever zodiac rules the node, it's is it characteristics or experiences that relate to that sign. It's the characteristics of that sign that show their face. That's what I would say. So the North Node is in Pisces. And we're going to get into this a little bit here, but it's not necessarily to stay in the past or stay in the future. It's to utilize both of them in the present moment, to not get caught in over criticism and not to be head over heels with belief systems, but to stay in the middle. It's a balancing act, not for nothing. We're going to see that here in a minute. Let me read this, interpret the nodes here. South Node, Dragon's Tail, Ketu, South Node and Virgo collectively. So you can check where the nodes are in your chart. Associated with past lives, inherent skills, talents, and comfort zones. It is safe, where it's safe and familiar. But relying on it exclusively causes stagnation. So you rely too much on philosophy and education and dogmas, if you will, if you have the South Node of Sagittarius. It represents patterns that no longer serve your highest good, which must be released. Sagittarius is the traveler, the explorer, but quite simply, Sagittarius is the thighs and the hips, and so it's walking away. So it doesn't serve you to walk away anymore from things, no matter what it be, good, bad, cute, ugly. Walking towards them or processing them and integrating them and speaking up about them. This is the South Node. I just shared with you a little tidbit about the North Node. North Node represents your karmic mission. It's your mission to be the student. Ooh, powerful. Mission to be the student, destiny, and the lessons you need to learn in this lifetime. You need to learn, you need to learn. I'm on a quest to rephrase communication as far as what a person needs and what they don't need, because I don't necessarily know what you need unless we look at the moon sign. But for the sake of the conversation, and I'm doing that, I constantly do that for myself. So if you resonate with that and you catch me like, hey, that doesn't, you can put in the comments, hey, whoa, you think I need to do that? Cosmic, are you sure I need to? You can check me, keep me on my toes. I don't mind it. But this is what I'm reading here. It says destiny and the lessons you need to learn in this lifetime, or lessons that are pertinent for you in this lifetime. Lessons through duality. Whatever it is that you say, whatever philosophical perspective that you have for an individual, and you feel that you're educated and you're this top-notch philosopher, that's when you're like, whoa, I'm on a high horse there. Wait a minute, maybe I need to get off the horse. Maybe I need to get off the horse and I need to look at the flip side of it. What's the flip side of this? It is unfamiliar, uncomfortable, and often feels like a steep learning curve when it comes to basic common sense and logic, like information, like words, even words that you think you know. It would be uh, unfamiliar and uncomfortable for you to look up even the most basic, simple words that you think that you know, that you got comfortable with using definitions that are limited. Not for nothing, because we're talking about teacher student access there for you with the karma and whatever health it's in. I think you got that aspect in the third and the ninth house, which is interesting because that's another secondary testimony that talks to the teacher student relationship. Not for nothing. See what I'm saying? Okay, so that's interpreting the nodes. We know what the nodes are. You guys, you know what the nodes are now? South node, dragon's tail, looks like this, upside down horseshoe. P2, dragon's head, north node. Random word for Taurus again. Just got here. What's going on? Ultra stunk? Welcome, ultra stink. I wonder what that smells like. Um, welcome in. A keyword for Taurus is values. That's what comes to mind to answer your question. Short answer. Values. What is it that you value? Okay. We're talking about the nodes here. Lessons through duality. That part resonates. Yeah, the flip side. It's almost like saying to yourself, like, yo, maybe I'm wrong. Or maybe I'm right. What if I think I'm right and what if I'm wrong? What's the flip side of that? What does it look like? Be able to see both sides. You know what that does? It actually allows you to see a mirror. It actually allows you to see your twin brother or see the duality in you. You know, the mirror. Your brother's in the mirror, or your sister's in the mirror. You look at yourself. What if I'm wrong? As we point to somebody, you point to somebody, then you got three fingers pointing back. Let's look at those three fingers. What could those 3 points be pointing to? You know what I'm saying? All right, now let's look at the nodes, stress and anxiety. Seems like you definitely went higher spirituality of the power of speech and of the precise words to choose. Stoked. Do you see what Living Waters is doing? Living Waters started tapping into her waters, her living waters. She started reading. She started being on the Cosmic Alchemist channel doing readings in the comments. You see how Living Waters started reading your chart? Living Waters, let me find out you about to start reading charts. Let me find out. Let's go. I'm so thankful that the channel is, got you in your confidence, willing to share the information. I don't mind it. Just get in here. Get in here. What's your north node, Living Waters? If you're in here, if you're just getting here, thank you for the like. Put your north node in the comments. Let's have an exciting Monday. Let's do it. I'm for it. You want to read charts? Read people's charts in the comments. I don't care. Do it. Do it. Let's have fun. Let's turn up a little bit. We're still in the age. Well, we are in the age of Aquarius. We're going to be here for a while. And the sun is in Aquarius too. We have a pair. We got a mirror there, pairing. Let's do it. On the lunch break. Don't overstay your lunch break, though. If you got to go back to work, get back to work. Get back to work. All right. So let's read this here. The nodes, stress and anxiety. I'm reading this right off the internet, and I'm incorporating my own tidbits in addition. Taking my own lesson. Getting information off the internet. Reading some of this I already know. Some of it is a refresher for me, and I'm sharing it with you. Take it or leave it. Leave it or take it. Stress of the past, stress of the past, the stressors of the past. This is what I was talking about before. Like, are you criticizing yourself too much? South collectively, South Node, Virgo, South Node, Virgo. If you are stuck in the South Node, if you're stuck in criticism, this is the nature of Virgo. If you're stuck in an analysis, over analyzing, if you're stuck there, you may feel bored, stagnant, or trapped in repeating old negative patterns. Oh, I can't do it. Maybe I'm not good enough. That's the shadow side of Virgo. Oh, nobody's going to like it. Stress of the future, North Node and Pisces, because the North Node is unknown and challenging. Trying to force it or fearfully obsessing over it creates anxiety, insecurity, and stress. Oh, what if I don't believe in myself? If I don't believe in myself, what's going to happen? What if I don't grow? What if nobody likes it? Right? That's in the future. The solution. The solution is staying in the middle. This reminds me of the middle path, not for nothing. How to incorporate the energy, the solution. The goal is to balance the nodes. What did I say? I said the goal is to balance the nodes, not to live entirely in the future and belief systems. Don't get caught in beliefs entirely in the future or the past and over criticize yourself. So this actually becomes to be two areas where you pay attention to and check yourself. Like, am I fearful of the future? Am I allowing myself to get nervous about something that's going to happen? Am I over criticizing myself? You are not meant to completely abandon the South Node. You were still supposed to be in it. Maybe it's a routine that I create for myself that I use when I recognize that I'm being anxious about the future, but rather use its gifts as a springboard. Mm. Virgo is a zodiac sign that's ruled by the planet Mercury, not for nothing. So what's really interesting about the current transits is that Virgo being ruled by Mercury with the South Node in Virgo, kind of we can imagine this South Node symbol right next to Mercury. And Mercury is so close to the North Node. So it's kind of like the North Node and the South Node are conjunct each other, not for nothing. Not for nothing. So both forces actually unite with belief systems. But what it says as a solution, a springboard, how can you use Virgo's characteristics as a springboard to reach a goal or to create a routine or to reach a state of growth and to learn a lesson? What if you're just a perfectionist, even though you know there is no such thing? So you're mindful of that. So you observe that. What specifically am I trying to make perfect? Am I trying to hang a picture on the wall and I'm trying to make it perfect? And if it's just not, I spent an hour here on it. Do I spend another hour or do I leave it? Do I take a break from it? Because Virgo is the sign of work and Pisces is the sign of rest. Let's put it on a simple base like that, a simple scale like that. Work, rest. All right. Not too much work, not too much rest, and not too much work, or balancing the work and the rest. Work, rest. Work a little bit. Let's take a break. Let's hang the picture. If we can't get it to be straight, okay, let's take a break from it. Let's reflect. Let's have lunch. Let's get a drink of water. Let's go for a walk. Let's leave it. Let's leave it. Let's flee. Right. And we could look at the physiology of that. Pisces is actually the immune system. Virgo is the nutrients. Right. Once we eat food and we have the nutrients, then we digest. Sometimes we go to sleep. I think about Thanksgiving a lot when it comes to food, large quantities of food. If we eat a large quantity of food, we automatically want to get some rest. So, short answer to your question is take a break from it. Leave it for a moment. Um, Springboard or home base to explore the North Node. Think of the South Node as the root and the North Node as the branches. North Node as the branches, branch managers, and the South Node as the root. Yeah, you're going. I hear what you're saying. It sounds like I'm seeing you text words that bring a fear, if you will. When you say giving your soul to people, it makes you feel sacred, vulnerable, nervous. In the creative sense, for example, if you give your soul to people, it makes feel scared or vulnerable. I don't know why you're giving your soul to anybody. Maybe we can slow that down a little bit, perhaps. You write music. Music makes me think of the zodiac sign Pisces. But if you're over analyzing, right? Let's say you're doing music, you're like, man, I can't get this to be right. Like, it's a matter of taking a break from it because what you're doing is you're over analyzing, you're overworking, and you're the scales are tipped. You're more towards the Virgo side. And so in this exercise or this example or demonstration, we're showing how the South Node in Virgo and the North Node in Pisces, there's a benefit through having a balance between the two. You see what I'm saying? For example, if you're in a vulnerable space where you're sharing with somebody, right? And you feel nervous or scared, you can pull back for a little bit, for a moment. You can pause on the story or the example or the conversation. You can pause. It's okay to pause. If you're doing all this work on your, come on, guy. If you're doing all this work, you can take a break. Pisces, Pisces is a break. It's a resting point. That's what we're reaching towards energetically. All right, did I get all of that? Think of the South Node as the roots and the North Node as the branches. That's what both are necessary for the tree to thrive. Both are necessary. I've actually been incorporating that a little bit with live and me delivering information. I've been working on pauses. You might not be able to tell because in my mind, I thought before I go live, I work on incorporating a breathing technique or a breathing exercise, like 3 deep breaths where I inhale for longer, more seconds, exhale for more seconds, a sequence like 4 seconds inhale, 6 seconds exhale, kind of reset. And I work on doing that in the beginning of my affairs, like that pause. I don't know if you can tell or not, but when I'm on live, I've been working on sometimes it's not that drastic, you can't tell. Sometimes I'll pause, like right there, I just did one. What I'm trying to say is that whenever it comes to finding balance, whenever it comes to finding this balance and this harmony, there's a benefit through finding this equivalent exchange. That's what Libra is about. Libra is about an equivalent exchange. So I use that scale equivalent exchange with breath. Royal Priestess of Truth, how are you? Hi, welcome in. I'm over here on YouTube, Christine. Um, Jesse G, over here on YouTube. You're more than welcome. Or you can stay over here on TikTok. Do what you want to do. Monday. Hope you're well. There's a chart over here, though. Not for nothing. And not just a checkered green board. And I did that on purpose. We're talking about the north node and the south node. You're gonna love it over here. And plus, I need some thumbs up over here. You'd like to get us to 1K first? I don't think you should worry about the 1K. But if that's what your little heart desires, then get the 1K double taps. I appreciate you. If that's what your body's telling you, then I'm for it. Now, yeah, balance. Wherever your north node and your south node, you can incorporate this in your chart if you look and see where your north node is located and your south node is located. So, how to incorporate the energy? The goal is to balance the nodes, not to live entirely in the future, north node, or the past, south node. Release the south node, T2, or the tail. Shake a tail feather. Release the tail. What does this mean? What does this look like? Acknowledge and release. Acknowledge your natural talents, but consciously release your tight grip on them. Ooh, that's powerful. That's powerful. You understood the assignment. Thank you so much. Be sure to like the live. The live goal is 10 thumbs. We have 9. Perfect. Okay, and welcome. Chocolate and avocado and grapes and a pineapple. Wow, your breath. You're gonna need some parsley after that. Gassy too. Sheesh. Sheesh, what a combo. What a combo. We're talking about how to incorporate the energy of the north node, looks like a horseshoe, and the south node looks like an upside down horseshoe. And it's about balancing these two energies, about balance. I paused. Gemini 12 degrees 13 arc minutes, north node. Okay. You and Stoke have a similar north node, south node. Similar. We're talking about the release the south node. How do we release the south node? Acknowledge and release. Acknowledge your natural talents, but consciously release your tight grip on them. Your tight grip, south node, if you have the north node in Gemini, your south node is in Sagittarius. Your tight grip on philosophy, your tight grip on being educated and having this wisdom. Let it go. Break patterns. Stop automatically retreating to familiar, easy habits when under pressure. I don't know what that looks like for South Node in Sagittarius. Maybe it looks like thinking that you know everything, thinking that you're this guru, thinking that you're experienced and that you can no longer learn. Purge. Let go of baggage. What baggage do you have when it comes to travel or transportation to your vehicle, quite simply? Are you attached to your car? Ooh, look at that. That's an interesting one, right? Our attachments. Because it's saying purge here. One of the ways in which to find this balance is purging. If you drive your car to work every day and you only work 2 miles away, maybe perhaps walking to work, maybe catch the bus to work just because you might have a Lexus. You might have 2 Lexuses connected. Ah! And you got the South Node of Sagittarius, and the North Node is to, engage with the community in the neighborhood by taking the bus out of your comfort zone. I'm just saying. Um, Old ways of thinking, let go of baggage, old ways of thinking, old relationships or environments that don't allow for growth. Okay, what do we have there? Christine, you didn't understand the assignment. You put Libra, Pisces, Scorpio in there. We're talking about nodes. The Mars hair is better. We got the Mars hair under here, but I don't. It's going to get in the way of the chart. We're looking at north nodes. Put your north node and south node in the comments. I'm wild NY. Welcome. Thank you so much for the subscription. Welcome to the channel. You understood the assignment. North Node in Libra, balance. We're talking about balance. Uncomfortable position, uncomfortable placing yourself in uncomfortable positions, learning, leaning into discomfort in relationships, engaging with those who you don't normally engage with. I want to take a commercial break with what it is that I'm sharing. We want to do these things with safety and being safe as well. Take light steps, maybe start with a family member, maybe be mindful, use logic, use reason, consult your primary care physician, make sure you're healthy, and all the above. We're talking about the North Node and the South Node. The South Node, it looks like the South Node is the past. And one of the solutions to deal with the energy of the North Node and the South Node is to acknowledge and release some behaviors from the past, break patterns from old ways, and purge a little bit. For those who are hoarding, I'm even talking to myself. I collect the bags. When I go to the store, I got a bag full of bags. I don't even know why I got bags. They're not even strong bags. I'm not going to use them if I move. They're just plastic bags. I just have bags. I have a bag of bags. Like, and I'm learning how to say no when they say, "Hey, do you want a bag?" I say no. Give me no more goddamn bags. I have a bag of bags. I'm overly bagged. I got enough bags. Anyway, but North Node in Libra, South Node in Aries. In the past, while you might be used to using anger or force, you might be used to that. That might be an old pattern, right? Break the pattern of using force, maybe listening a little bit, maybe listening, maybe, even though Libra is not about listening, but when it comes to relationships, that's what transforms the relationship. What transforms the relationship is the listening. When you listen, shh, shh, shh. What'd you say? I said, too many bags? Maybe you got to get rid of the bags, all right? Maximus, Aquarius North Node, Leo South Node, right? The North Node is you've been leaning into the future energetically with this stellium in Aquarius, not for nothing, right? Letting go of the ego. Ooh, ego. Not necessarily ego death. I think that the ego death thing is a little bit um it's out of context. I think I see it maybe taming the ego, but we need the ego. We need it. We need the sun. We need that energy, right? Placing yourself in uncomfortable situations, leaning into the discomfort of knowledge, maybe a truth that you think that you know, maybe researching a little bit more. Maybe you're comfortable like a king or a queen that you're like, I don't have to look up anything. I know what the word the means. I know what the word a means at its root. I know all. I know all. I'm the king. Crown me. Someone crown me. I know what the word because means at its root. You know what I'm saying? I am the king of the definition of the letter, the words, yeah, I've done it. I've graduated. Small things, little things, small, right? Let's get into um, what we're embracing with the North Node. Lean into good discomfort, take risks. Hey, let me, North Node and Aquarius, let me look up something. Let me research some knowledge that I thought that I knew, or let me refresh something that I've been saying that I could benefit from looking a little deeper into it. Shift perspective. I tell you, I've shifted my perspective with knowledge for sure. I've been shifting. I don't even have the North Node in Aquarius, and I've been like, let me put myself in a little uncomfortable position. Let me look up some words. You know, you do read a lot on esoteric and philosophical Kabbalistic books. Maybe. I'm just saying, maybe. Maybe you read a different book. Oh, I'm the king of esoteric readings and philosophical Kabbalistical books. I've read them all. Look at my library. Whoa. Be careful. I don't want to poke nobody. Oh, I'm the king or the queen, either or. Royalty here. Maybe reading something else, even if it's a short read. Different kinds of knowledge, variety. Not for nothing. Happy Potter, Harry Potter, North Node and Capricorn. Hey, Ann, how are you? Welcome in. 12 likes. The live thumbs up goal is 20. Thank you so much. Capricorn, South Node. Cancer, North Node. Leaning into what is that? Discomfort through family. Interesting. And the mother. Ooh, look at that. Right? There's so much, there's comfort. Well, let's look at the how to incorporate the energy of the South Node in Capricorn. The three things for releasing and incorporating how to incorporate the energy of the South Node is acknowledge your workaholic behavior and your need for order and release, and maybe go with your feeling, right? Emotion, lean into into discomfort of feeling. Maybe you don't know, instead of trying to figure it out through structure, a rigid structure, you go with the flow, right? Break patterns of being over controlling or rigid, which I'm sure you already do this. You already really balanced. There's always room for improvement, but you're balanced from what I've known you with those two features, with work and family. But the North Node in Cancer is leaning into family, and because Jupiter's here too, we got a little bit of education and philosophy there, so leaning into that. South Node Capricorn, purging, let go of baggage with control. What does that look like? And it's in the relationships. It's in the seventh house too. Look at that little bit there. You know, hey, I know you got demands, but I'm not doing that today. Respectfully, today's a North Node day, kind of day. We're gonna do the opposite. We're taking some risks here. We're gonna just let the whole, we're gonna let we're gonna let the kitchen be the kitchen today. Matter of fact, your turn. Respectfully, we're gonna have a kitchen day. We're gonna have a free flowing kitchen day. The brightest star, welcome. Did I miss you? I missed you. This stand, I got a stand, and it's a little higher on this one. So I got one phone here, one phone there. TikTok, you're a little higher. We're gonna have to get you lower next time. All due respect. You got that down? That's just an example of the North Node, South Node. And there's so much more when you get to exploring that. I want to reiterate the three bullet points for incorporating the energy of the South Node. Acknowledge and release. So, for example, South Node and Virgo collectively acknowledge and releasing criticism, breaking patterns of overanalyzing, purging, maybe a day of where, hey, I'm not gonna criticize myself where I talk myself out of something that I want to do. Right? Simple. Right? You can add or take away from that if you want to. Three ways to incorporate the energy of the North Node. North Node in Pisces. Lean into discomfort. Pisces has to do with the psyche, psychic vision. Let me see if I can make a prediction for myself. Maybe not even with astrology. Maybe it's just something in your life. Let me make a prediction for what's going to happen, towards sunset, right around sunset. Maybe discomfort, not used to it. Take risks. Embrace some new possibilities. You know what? I'm going to go to bed a little earlier because Pisces is resting. I'm going to take 20 minutes. I'm going to do my nightly routine, prepare for bed 20 minutes earlier. Take risks. Shift perspective. somehow. How do we shift perspective with Pisces, right? With compassion. Maybe we put ourselves in somebody else's shoes. How do we reframe the anxiety of not knowing into excitement of discovering, right? Maybe a prediction. That would be cool. All right. So now I want to go into apply the springboard method. This is going to be exciting. I don't understand the numbers, I guess, the degrees and how I can interpret it into my life. Good question. Right. And so, little quick summary here. The earlier degrees are the beginning, youthful, and the latter degrees are a little more experienced, wisdom or elderly. Little rough way in which to look at it, as someone who's just got into the room as opposed to someone who's been there for a couple hours. Someone who's been there for a couple hours, that might be more like 29 degrees or 28 degrees. They've been there for the while, they're getting ready to leave. Right? As opposed to you just coming home and just stepping into the living room, that newness of feeling and is fresh, kind of like a youthful behavior. You can look at the numbers like this. This, for example, is Jupiter at 16 degrees. It's not in the beginning, it's not in the end, it's right in the middle, right? So this person's comfortable. Jupiter's comfortable here with wisdom and philosophy. Quick way to know about the degrees: early, middle, end, beginning, middle, end, fresh, comfort, been there for a while, associated with wisdom. Is that easy way in which to look at the degrees for you? You gave a degree of your north node. What was it in the middle? If I want to say 11 degrees, did you say 21 or 11 degrees? I don't know why I'm thinking about those numbers. That's the file that I had. That's what I remember seeing. Where is it? Where are you? I'm lost now. I'm lost in the comments. Swimming. I'm at the beginning of the comments. I forgot. Um, Maximus, thank you for being thankful. I appreciate you. There's all kinds of ways in which to donate to the channel too, for the record, in my bio. Okay, and I still didn't see that donation that you sent through the Zelle. I might have to take the Zelle off if it's that much trouble. We'll have to find another way. I don't know. PayPal, maybe. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I want to get into this applying how to apply the springboard method. Powerful. Use your natal talents, South Node, right? Your ability to analyze things, let's use it as a skill, not as a stressor, to support your new endeavors, right? It's interesting how Pisces is rest and how Virgo is health and wellness. We can use health and wellness in a routine for our rest. That's just finding a middle ground, a middle path, and using a springboard. We can use the South Node. We can use the South Node and Virgo collectively to bring us into the idea of a routine. 12 degrees, so it's right in the middle. See, it's comfortable there. North Node in Gemini, I think you said, right? That's right in the middle of books, information, learning, and being a student. No, not we were close. You were close to Stoked. I don't know if Stoked had 12 degrees. I don't remember what his degrees were, but um, you both had North Node and Gemini. But the South Node, we can look at the South Node as the characteristics, the character traits of the zodiac sign that your South Node is in. Look at it more like a springboard as opposed to something that you become stressed or become anxious or anxiety is built through it. Right. So for example, you have Sagittarius South Node. Stokes, appreciate you. I appreciate that so much. This inspires me for sure. The South Node in Sagittarius, how can we use philosophy and education and learning as a springboard? And it doesn't only have to be philosophy or religion. That's something that we could do. We could allow our understanding of religion to be a springboard for us to look and be a student or act like a student and to discover a little bit more about religion. Small springboard stuff. right? We can use the a springboard. We can use the health as a springboard to bring us to recognize the importance of rest. North Node Virgo, right? So it's a flip. You're experiencing a North Node, a nodal flip, right? And so South Node in Pisces, right? We can use our belief systems. You can use a belief system that you have for yourself, or the importance in believing in yourself and having faith to spring you into look at the details and specifics, or to be more healthy, right? Or you can use sleep and rest, getting to bed a little bit earlier, South Node in Pisces, to spring you into a healthier way of life, living, a fresh start early in the mañana. Look at that. Powerful. What else does it say here? Look at this. This is the example. If you have a Pisces South Node, spiritual, intuitive, and a Virgo North Node, analytical and practical, you can use your intuition to guide your work, but ground it with practical planning. So, like a plan on a Saturday or a Sunday on your day off, you can have like a practical, easy day where you get sufficient rest and you plan your day, even if it's only two things that are planned in it. Have a loose plan. For 6 hours of the day, I'm going to give myself time to relax and just stay in this room, right? And anything that's in this room to the best of my best. You get thirsty, of course, you can go to the kitchen. Like, you know what I mean? Like, have a loose plan for yourself and allow yourself to just go with the flow, like a you day. Are you with me? That's powerful. That's interesting that you said that, and that was the example. All right. Practical nodal examples. There's some more examples. North Node in Aries, South Node in Libra. Do we have anybody here like that? Look at that. We got a North Node in Gemini and a South Node in Sagittarius, too, for you living waters. We're going to get to you. You're third on the list. North Node in Aries, South Node in Libra. One can stop worrying about pleasing everyone. Libra. That's the South Node in Libra. And stand up for oneself. Aries, North Node in Aries. North Node in Taurus, South Node in Scorpio. One can stop obsessing over crisis and transformation. Scorpio. And build a simple, stable life. Practicality, Taurus. North Node in Gemini. South Node in Sagittarius. One can stop assuming they know the only truth. That's what I talked about earlier. Sagittarius. And open their mind to new, practical, and curious learning. Gemini. So, if looking at nodes creates stress, remember that these are lifetime chain themes. Excuse me. If looking at nodes creates stress, remember that these are lifetime themes, not things one must fix overnight. Ground yourself. This goes into the nervous system activation that I was talking about before, right? Breath work, aromatherapy, exercise, walking. There's plenty of ways to ground the self. Brightest star, thank you so much for the double taps. I'm over here on YouTube. Thank you. If one is sweating, the future, North Node, use grounding techniques to focus on the present. Use worry time. Schedule 15 to 20 minutes to focus on karmic lessons rather than ruminating all day, right? That's a powerful one. Use worry time. Set a worry time for yourself. That's pretty interesting. Instead of the whole day, set a timer for 20 minutes. We're gonna ruminate for 20 minutes. It's okay to ruminate. It just becomes to be an issue when it takes over the day and now you feel a certain kind of way. Now you're going to sleep. As you're going to rest, you're distraught at how much time you spent ruminating. So you're ruminating about rumination. That's crazy. I've done it too. But one of the benefits to looking at this energy astrologically, look for empowerment. All right. And the third bullet for managing nodal anxiety is trust the journey. The nodes are about long term evolution and soul growth, not immediate perfection. Not immediate perfection. So that's what I have for everyone. I hope this was exciting. Be sure to watch the beginning of the video. Um, this ties in looking at the nodes. Thank you, Living Waters, for mentioning that. The nodes, that's awesome. And this ties into the transit energy and applying the transits in real time. The sun is in Aquarius. Aquarius is a sign of knowledge, not for nothing and for something at the same time. A little short, little additional lesson here. If you look at this chart, it's color coded. See light blue here, and light blue here. These light blue symbols are the three air signs. This is Aquarius, this is Gemini, and this is Libra. The air signs are signs that have to do with intellect, the mental prowess. Thank you for the likes to the thumbs up. I really appreciate all of you. I appreciate this so much. So, real quick, Aquarius is an air sign, Gemini is an air sign, Libra is an air sign. These are the blue colored signs, symbolisms. Right? Aquarius is about knowledge, Gemini is about our thinking process and our logic and reason, rational abilities. And Libra has to do with balance and relationships, being relatable. Now, when it comes to the degrees, remember I said the beginning, middle, and end. The fresh is the beginning, like Mercury is fresh. Mercury is like a fresh spirit in Pisces there, where Saturn is an elder presence because it's at the end, more wisdom about empathy. Mercury just got here when it comes to empathy. It's relearning. It's been a while. It's been a year since it's been here, right? So I say all that to say that a zodiac sign can be divided into three segments from 0 to 10, from 10 to 20, from 20 to 0 again, or 20 to 30. So the beginning of Aquarius, from 0 degrees of Aquarius to 10 degrees of Aquarius, is a true Aquarius. We call it Aquarius Aquarius. From 10 to 20 degrees is Aquarius Gemini, because Gemini is the very next air sign going in order. And so Gemini, a subsection of Gemini can be found inside of Aquarius, the middle part. And from 20 degrees to 0 degrees of Pisces, which is another 10 degrees, where we can see the sun is currently in now. So we find that the Libra energy is present. It's called the deacons, Libra deacon, Gemini deacon, Aquarius deacon. And so what I'm trying to say is that Libra, even though the sun is at 20 degrees of 58 arc minutes of Aquarius, and it has some wisdom to it because it's in the latter degrees, right? So wisdom with knowledge, ancient knowledge, maybe even, or knowledge that one has already experienced before. It's comfortable. It's been in the room, it's been in the Aquarius room for a while. It brings a subsection of this energy, this subtle energy of Libra with finding balance with knowledge. And we just talked about balancing, right? The nodes, if you will. We just learned some knowledge, some new knowledge on the nodes and how to balance them in your chart. So if you're watching this video after this live, take a look at your north node and your south node. And if you get stressed about it, take it easy. Go back in the video. If you don't find it, comment on the video and I'll see you in the next video. I'll be here tomorrow morning between 3:30 and 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you'd like a reading, you can reach out to me in my bio. There's tons of ways to reach out to me. If you have any issues, comment on a video. I'll be back. La da 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 da.